Hi there, this is Jacob LE, jacoblevideoproduction.com. In this tutorial, I'll be looking at why freelancers get paid more. Should they really be making twice as much money? Employers may be saying $500 a day. I pay my employee $250 a day to do the exact same task. Now, surprisingly, it may be the $500 a day freelancer that is a better deal for your company. So in this video, I'm going to go into detail about why freelancers and contractors charge twice as much money per day and why they're actually a bargain for businesses. We'll also look at ways to incorporate freelancers and figure out if they make sense for your business. So here's the top 5 reasons freelancers charge more. Number 1, business owners can simply cut freelancers or contractors a check. When you hire a freelancer, there isn't any 401k matching, health insurance, dental insurance, social security tax, payroll tax, workman's compensation, unemployment insurance, paid vacation, sick days, or personal days. Now, once you eliminate all of these factors, the pay difference shrinks considerably. Now, an employee who takes home $30,000 a year on average costs employers $44,000 per year once we include all of these factors. Now that's a 46.6% difference. Number 2, if work is really slow and times are lean, you don't have to pay freelancers a penny. When you're hiring full-time employees, you need to pay them year-round, even if the budget is tight, even if you don't feel you have any work for them to do. Now, it's completely different with freelancers. You may need an extra person to deal with a huge deadline or to deal with increased holiday business. Some freelancers are willing to work less than 8 hours. Often this will be remotely, so you could even potentially hand off a 5-hour project to a freelancer. Now, the recruiting process for a full-time employee is incredibly intensive, and there's a lot of pressure to find the perfect person. If a freelancer isn't any good, you can choose to never work with them again. And if they're great, you can hire them as much as you need them. Since freelancers aren't guaranteed paychecks, sick days, etc., they do need to charge a little bit more just to survive. They need to budget some money so that they can weather times when no work is coming in for them. Number 3, I feel that this one is really important. Freelancers can provide really essential equipment and tools, and they get paid more in part because of what they can provide. If you hire a professional videographer like myself, they'll often bring along $5,000, $10,000, or even $20,000 worth of equipment, which if you were to rent all this would be thousands of dollars. Now, hiring a videographer full-time and buying all the equipment would be an enormous cost to your business. Freelancers can also have their own computers and expensive software. Personally, I work on software that costs several $1,000s, and the business owners that work with me don't have to worry about software or licenses or trying to expense that all out. I take care of all of that for them. Number 4, there is no need to create a permanent space for a freelancer. Now, creating a permanent space in your office can really be expensive over time. If you run out of room for your office and workstations, you'll need to move to a much larger location. Businesses could potentially have one area where all freelancers can work, and they can also have people remotely, which saves a ton of space. They can be in constant communication with freelancers via channels like Slack or conference calls and phone calls. And now screen sharing makes reviewing work incredibly simple. A study from Harvard Business Review found that 91% of employees feel they're actually more productive working remotely. Businesses that are skeptical about hiring people to work remotely can test this arrangement for just a few days and see if all of the output and communication and finished product are at a desired level. Number 5, this one's really important. Freelancers work harder than your average employees. It's estimated that employees slacking off at work costs businesses in the US alone $15 billion per year. And it's not uncommon for long-term employees to feel bored and disengage with their work if they've been at the job a long time. Chatting at the water cooler or gossip or watching cat videos can have a serious impact on their output. But when freelancers come in, they're often working on a very tough deadline and are intensely judged on their work output and the quality of their work. If a freelancer is slacking off and watching cat videos, they will not get hired again, and they need to be incredibly focused, driven, and producing really high quality content quickly. So now that I've outlined why freelancers are such a great deal, do I feel it makes sense for businesses to hire exclusively freelancers rather than regular employees? I would say definitely not. It is incredibly important for businesses to be building a very talented team of people who learn to work well together and are good at finishing their tasks. And there are certainly a lot of positions that really require someone working full time and will all the time require someone working 20, 30, 40, 50 hours per week. So in those scenarios, I do think it completely makes sense to hire full-time employees to fill those roles. But if you have employees that are really swamped with too much work on their plate, you can bring in a freelancer for a short period of time and they can really help make that workload a lot more reasonable, make your employee's life a whole lot better. And if you just need an employee, a freelancer for a short period of time on an as-needed basis, a freelancer can really help you with that. Also, freelancers can be really specialists. So you may have a task that's very specific and which you wouldn't need on an ongoing basis, and there would certainly be freelancers to fill that position. Now, having really high quality freelancers in place can really take all of this burden off your employees and keep your business running smoothly. And I would say it's really important to be establishing connections with talented freelancers so you have high quality people lined up before you're in crisis mode. So I feel like I've laid out why freelancers charge more and why they're actually worth every single penny. Contractors and freelancers can bring so much value to businesses. You don't need to pay them benefits, 401k matching. If times are slow, you don't need to hire them. They may be able to provide really essential tools and equipment such as camera equipment, software, computers, etc. And not only that, you don't need to give them permanent space in your office. In fact, if they're working remotely, you don't have to give them any space at all. And they work faster than employees. You don't need to go through a challenging, costly recruiting process. If you've heard good things about a freelancer, you can simply hire them on a really short project. And if they do a great job, hire them again. If they don't, you don't have to ever work with them again. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe and click the bell to be notified when I come out with new videos. I have so much content on YouTube marketing, Instagram marketing, tips and tricks for small businesses like this one. Thanks so much. I will see you in the next video.